Skip Martin's Friends and Legends podcast. Hey there, friends and family. How you doing? Skip Martin here on my podcast, Friends and Legends. And one of my friends and a legend, she's working on it because she's young, you know what I'm saying? This is Steph Payne, Emmy award-winning artist and singer. How you doing, girl?
I am wonderful today, Skip. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. I'm so happy to have you here. I wanted to tell your story today on this Friends and Legends episode here. And for those out there that don't know who Steph Payne is, um, I want her to tell you, well, where do you actually hail from?
Well, I come from Los Angeles, California, and
Uh-huh.
I'm a Los Angeles native. However, I'm almost to the point where you can consider me a Las Vegan as well. I've been here
Okay.
about 8 years, and if you count the first time I lived here in the early 2000s, I've been here for about 13 years altogether. My kids were born here, so Las Vegas is a second
Okay.
home to me.
All right. All right. And I wanted to share something with the audience out there because you've been, excellent singer, and I really admire your get up and go. You know, your intentions that are so amazing. I want you to tell me a little bit about your military history because found that so fascinating.
Oh, yeah, well, like they say, if I tell you, I have to kill you now.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
understand
kidding.
that. That's why I'm in another room and across town.
I had to make that disclaimer. No, I did serve during Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom. I was in the United States Army as an intelligence analyst during the war, and now here I am. I went from the military to the main stage.
Do you remember a base over there called, I think, Arif Jam? I went over there and performed during Iraq and during all that stuff that was going on. And I think that was the closest thing to hell I've ever been in my life because it was hot.
Hotter than Las Vegas?
Yes, it was hot. When I was there, it averaged 135 degrees. Average.
Oh my goodness.
Some days it
Well,
was
fortunately
142.
for me, that's insane. But fortunately for me, I was in during the war. I'm a war veteran, but I did not have to go over there. So I was blessed in that.
Well, that was interesting, and I wanted to know. So, where did your passion come from? You know, where did that come from? What is music to you?
Oh, music is life to me. Music is a universal language. Music communicates our feelings and emotions when we really don't know how to do it with words. Music helps us be emotionally intelligent when we're not being rational, and so music to me is everything. It's an outlet, it's an escape, it's also a way to connect with people. It's a way to help take people away from their problems for a time. So music is all of that to me. Music is memories to me. I connect music to
Mhm.
different periods of time in my life. I think we all do that.
Exactly.
A song can come on and it'll remind you of a fond memory or a bad memory or somewhere in
Yep.
between. So to me, music is a universal frequency that helps us all communicate and get through life.
Yes. Yes. I really believe that. And I wanted to get your definition of it because I actually I was asked that years ago and I just say that to me music is the sound of a soul singing. And
I like that.
and everybody has a soul. But it also, what you just elaborated on, it also measures the times of our lives. It's the clock of our lives. You know, it's like what you just said, and that's amazing. You know that you still have that, and you live for that. So let's talk a little bit about your story here in Las Vegas and
Yeah.
your challenges and what you've overcome. That's what I admire so much about you because you really work at your craft. You know, you're a mother, you've been in the military, you've had struggles, you've had successes, you have all this stuff, but you're still so passionate. You put this time in on what you're doing, and I really appreciate that. I see you like Avatar. I see you.
Well, thank you, my brother. I really appreciate that. My journey here in Las Vegas has been a combination of wins and lessons. I don't like to call them losses. I like
Mhm.
to call them lessons because I don't feel like I lose when I'm having experiences. I'm learning, So I have had my ups and downs in Las Vegas, but one thing that I don't do is allow the lessons or what some people might call losses to throw me off of my path. I don't allow other people or circumstances to dictate my drive,
Mhm.
or where I intend to go with my goals. I just keep on trucking. I just keep
Mhm.
going. And if something doesn't work, I do something my father said to me that's a really simple thing, but it has stuck with me ever since he said it to me. He said, "Find something else and make it work. Find
Mhm.
something else work." And that always comes to my mind when something doesn't work out the way that I want it to, and entertainment, within any entertainment environment, there's going to be a little bit of strangeness and weirdness going on. People are going to be
Mhm.
strange, there's weird happenings and narratives being created and people being, territorial and insecure, but I just focus on what I'm doing. I trust God, and I just try to stay focused on my goals and keep
Mhm.
going and not be emotional about it when I don't have to be.
Exactly. That's a good way to look at it. We're gonna pass on messages to people that are our listeners out there, um, because, there's a there's a, um, there's a story that I have, related to what you just said, and it's called "Shake
Mhm.
It Off." So there was a farmer, and
Yes.
this farmer had a goat. You ever heard this story? The farmer had a
No.
goat, okay, and the goat fell down into the well, right? So he
Mhm.
put a rope down there to try to get the goat out of the well. And the goats just started chewing the rope. And he kept falling back in there. So the farmer said, "Let me get a chain." So we got a chain thing, put the chain down there, try to wrap it around the goat, and the goat kept kicking and what have you till he fell out of the chain harness that he had, and it still wouldn't get him out. So the farmer got frustrated. He went and got him a shovel and started shoveling dirt into the well. And every time he put a pile of dirt into the well, it'd go on the back of the goat, and the goat would just shake it off. And he just kept doing that. The goat would shake it off. Eventually, the farmer filled up the whole well, and the goat just walked the hell out of the damn well and walked right in front of him. The moral to that story is just when people talk bad about you, when people try to bring you down, misrepresent who you are, this and that, just shake it off because eventually you'll be walking
Shake it
right in
off.
front of them.
I
You know what
love
I'm saying?
that. That is a wonderful story and analogy for what I've had to do my entire time
Yes.
doing
Yes.
entertainment here. There's
Hmm.
been attacks, there's been setbacks, there's been all of that, but I find another way, I find something else and make it work, I shake it off, and I end up like that goat on top of the heap.
Yes, that's how you do it. And I see you doing that. And it's more difficult for talented people, for attractive people, for intelligent people, because
Mhm,
that creates sometimes for insecure people resentment. And in
mhm.
every field that you're in, you're going to have to deal with people that have resentment and what have you. But the key to success and getting through all of this is shake it off. So
Yes.
I'm really glad to see you and share some of this with you because I want the people out here to know kind of where you're coming from and what it takes. Skip Martin's Friends and Legends podcast, sponsored by Electric Shop Recording Studio, the best recording studio in Las Vegas, award-winning engineers, top of the line equipment, and specialized service. Now, what's your preference in styles of music? What do you like to do, Miss Emmy award winning artist?
Oh, well, thanks to a wonderful opportunity from you. Well, I like to do different things. I have people ask me what my favorite song is, who my favorite artist is, what my favorite kind of genre to do is, and I never have a favorite. I like to call myself a fusion artist. I do it all. If I'm singing R&B, I get jazzy. If I'm singing jazz, I infuse R&B into it. If I'm singing rock, I might squall like a gospel singer. I
Mhm.
just mix it all in because I grew up listening to so many different things. Now, at the center of my heart is gospel and soul and R&B that really just speaks to my soul. But there are such special things about other genres of music that speak to me as well. So I try not to limit myself to sounding like one genre or creating one genre. Um, Eventually, it has to be labeled. I start off with whatever. Let's say I'm singing a cover, or I'm creating some music that's supposed to be R&B. I start off with that vibe, and it ends up being a fusion of several different things.
Mhm. It's like, um, we resonate and react to the smell of the environment. We respond to the scent of that magic, and,
Hmm.
that's where we morph, that's where we adapt, and,
Hmm.
that's where creativity comes from, and especially when you're not trying to control it. When you just
Right.
follow the flow, that's what they used to say, that old saying, "Go with the flow," and
Hmm.
success comes from being able to, 1, have courage, 2, have the vision to collaborate with people that have gifts that you don't have, 3, to be able to take correction, 4, to make a choice, 5, to take the chance that that choice is going to be effective and then complete it and then put it all on a bed of a relationship with Christ. And success is a gimme. You're going to have it.
Yeah,
However, keep in mind that success is a double edged sword because the people closest to you pay the biggest price for your success.
they
I'm a
do.
living witness of
That
that.
is so true.
Hmm.
And with on that note, I'm so grateful for my family, and my
Hmm.
village and my circle of people that have been so supportive with me doing this because it takes time. It takes time, it takes effort. Sometimes it takes you away from them, and you have to have a
Hmm.
really understanding people, and at the same time learn how to balance your life. It's easy to be a workaholic in this field of entertainment and music because it's a constant go, 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 stay ahead of the game. But
Hmm.
I've learned to balance my life and not neglect my family, but at the same time, when I'm really busy and they know the cost of success and focusing
Hmm.
on something, they've been really understanding with me. So I'm very blessed.
Well, you definitely are. You definitely are. You are like a tree. A tree grows in two directions. It grows down first, where it's dark, where it's damp, and where there's resistance. It grows down. But if you take a picture of the top of a tree and the roots of a tree, they look similar. They call it, the
Mm,
bottom of the tree is called geotropic. Geotropic.
mm,
It goes against gravity and it goes down. The top part of the tree is called, what do they call it? Phototropic. That's where it rises towards the photosynthesis of the sun and all of that stuff. And in order
mhm,
for a tree to grow like yourself, it has to go and do all those things in that dark, damp, resistant environment in order to blossom like the tree that you are standing on right now, the way you look, the way you are, and so forth. It came from the darkness. And when people see you, they just see the tree part of it. But in order to be
mhm.
great, you had to go through the dark, damp, and resistant part of it to even get there to present that. And
Ooh,
that's what you are,
I
sister. You know,
I love that. I love the way that you put that. Thank you. That's a great compliment.
so that's
That
that's
is
uh,
so
uh, that's an observation. That's what I see.
wow.
So that's why I have
Wow.
you on this show today to to show who you are and show what it takes. Now we have a few minutes left because I only make this and make it short. I wanted to talk a little bit about the most profound project of my life, which was the People Get Ready project, the Legends Unite
Mhm.
for Saint Jude. That was the most profound project of my life. How did it change your life?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question, Skip. I was thinking about it today before the interview, and I was really reflecting on how I was feeling and what was happening at that time. And it definitely changed my life because it was in the height of COVID. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
even really all get together. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
gather, you know. A few of us did, like you and I
Mm-hmm.
did you did the part with me there live in my studio, but we couldn't come together like with We Are the World, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
during the time of COVID, as much as I trust God, I'm human, I was very discouraged. I was
Mm-hmm.
discouraged. I was borderline, you know, I won't say depressed, but I was a little bit downtrodden. I
In a
wasn't
funk.
quite
Yeah.
myself. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was in a little bit of a funk. Like, when is this gonna end? What am I gonna do when this is over with? Am I gonna get back to work? A lot of people were feeling that way. And when you brought this project to me and invited me to be a part of it, it really, really lifted my spirits. And at the time, I didn't realize what it was going to do for my career. I was just doing
Mm-hmm.
it because you were a friend. I loved the concept. I was grateful to work with all these wonderful artists. And I did it. And it lifted my spirits at the time. And at the same time, down the road, it lifted and elevated my career with this Emmy Award that we were able to win for doing this project. And so it really encouraged me at the time and it elevated my career eventually. And so it's been a major blessing to my life.
Well, I'm so glad. It's been a major blessing to my life. And the major lesson that I learned from that in closing is that success will come when you make others a priority,
Mhm.
because that energy, our universe is like a mirror. It reflects what you put into it. So
Yes.
instead of it wasn't about me, it was about us. And that's why it became my most profound project of my life. Biggest lesson I think I've ever learned in my life. That was 168
Hmm.
tracks, something that I wouldn't even try to do again. It was impossible,
Ooh,
I thought.
ooh.
Okay. But God gave me the discernment to pick out the hottest spots and the most great moments and put them together in a 3 minute and 18-second song. So that was a
Wow.
blessing. So you are a blessing to me, and I want to thank you for coming on my show and telling your
Oh, thank you.
story. We can do this as friends, and you lift me up. So I'm thankful for that, and having you as a friend, and what I can do to lift you is a blessing to me. Okay, so I want to thank you so much. Okay, I love you, and you just stay strong out there. Keep doing your thing, and I'm proud of you. All right. All right.
Thank
You heard it
you.
right here, you guys. On this episode here of Friends and Legends, Miss Steph Payne, Emmy Award winning singer, and one of my friends, who's a golden girl. All right. I'll talk to you soon, girl. Don't play no games. Remember my phrase, don't play no games. I'll talk to you later.